Hello, my peeps. It's Antoinette. Thanks for coming back for another video. I received a request from one of my subscribers to make the cauliflower mashed potatoes. Now, I have made a lot of those over the years, all different kinds of ways. Most of them taste the same, but my very favorite one is from Stella from the Food Network. And if you go to thefoodnetwork.com, if you just plug in low carb recipes, and his stuff will come right up, because during the Atkins craze, he used to have a Food Network channel. So that's still up there, and it's the best. So it's the most like mashed potatoes. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so although the mock garlic mashed potatoes are going to be the star of the show today, I am going to grill some pork chops later on. So here I am marinating them for about 5 hours. I have 5 in here. They're pretty thin, so they're not going to take that long on the grill. I'm going to want to cook those to just like 145 degrees. But here's what I put in there. I have it all done already because, in the interest of time, because today is all about the mashed potatoes. So I got this recipe at allrecipes.com, but of course I changed it up to make it, low carb, no sugar. I replaced the brown sugar. They want 3 tablespoons brown sugar. So I put in 1.5 tablespoons of the Splenda brown sugar. So my marinade is basically, I have a 1/4 cup of the olive oil, and then I had 2 tablespoons of the spicy brown mustard, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. They use white wine vinegar, but I didn't have that. And a teaspoon of onion powder, 3 tablespoons of minced garlic. They said 4 cloves. 2 teaspoons of thyme. So I'm almost out of that. I need to get some. And then 2 tablespoons of this, what's this here sauce? I can't say that. There's another word that I can't say in my business. So if I'm like trying to fluently talk, to a customer and say this word, I will almost every time trip over my word. It's called the amateurization schedule. I cannot say that word if I'm just talking. I can say it if I just say the word only. I don't know why, but it's been an issue for years. Anyway, all right, we also put in a tablespoon of parsley. I added, which isn't here, they called for mesquite flavored seasoning, but I just put in some Old Bay, a palmful of that, and mixed it on up, and that was pretty much it. And here's what it looks like. Looks great. Smells great. It's going in the refrigerator now for about 4 or 5 hours. It's 12 o'clock noon right now, and I have an oil change appointment at 1:30, so I gotta hit it. But and I also have to go shopping for that cauliflower, and I will see you this afternoon, and we will make those mashed potatoes. Well, I made it safely back to the lake country. Oh my goodness. So I had to go to the city of Milwaukee, to the dealership to go get my oil change, because I have a, service contract. And so it's free. Well, it's not free. I prepaid it. But anyway, you know what they do down there in the city? They act like they're driving go-karts, like you're at the amusement park driving your car like a go-kart, weaving in and out. Phew! I made it out alive. And I'm safely back home in the little city of Pewaukee, which they call the city in the country. So, anyway, it was eventful. It's now 4 o'clock almost, and now So Lori, my coworker and my subscriber who wanted to make this cauliflower mashed potatoes, she told me about this, about making your own vanilla bean vanilla from homemade. So I found this cute handy dandy, I like it, at Pick and Save here. It's really cute. So that should be about a cup. I guess you mix vanilla bean with a cup of vodka, and it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to make, but it's supposed to be amazing. So we'll go through that process together. But they had at Pick and Save 2 vanilla beans were $15. So I'm like, oh, no way. And so I have the jar, but I have to search around for that vanilla bean. I'm going to bring you a sample of the mashed potatoes on Monday to work. So I don't remember if you told me where you get yours, but I'm going to check Amazon, but otherwise I'm going to wait till Monday and ask you, and we'll have to do that at another time. But I did get the heavy whipping cream. We're going to make the cheese sauce for the asparagus. And I did find these, this is cool, garlic juice and onion juice. So this is really great because it's like, woohoo, $1.89 on clearance. But what's great about it, you know, because onions are carby, and so these have no carbs. So I am going to use a little bit of this in, I'm going to half and half it with the garlic. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try that out. I was excited to find that. And then I found this for my gourmet collection. That's going to be for my chicken crust pizza. I'm going to show you. I'll tell you what, that chicken crust pizza is the best. And I refused to make it for years and years and years. Once I finally did, I could not believe that I waited so long, because it is really wonderful. I have some fresh chives we're going to put on the potatoes. And since I was out of the white wine vinegar for the marinade, I went ahead and picked this up. It was on sale at Meijer's as well. So I will have that for next time. But look what they had. So this is another recipe that I plan on doing, the broccoli cauliflower bacon bombs. So, and the dip that they like to use is this sour cream and chive. But they had some Green Bay Packer sour cream and chives, and it has 2 carbs. So, yeah, that's going to be the dip for that. And of course my cauliflower. But right now, after the big ordeal that I've been through this afternoon, I'm going to take a break. And the weather took a change for the worse, so I doubt if I'm going to be barbecuing the pork chops out there, or grilling the pork chops out there. I'm going to cook them in the oven. So, all right, we'll see you in an hour. Maybe less. Started on the mock garlic mashed potatoes. I have everything prepared over here. So starting out, first of all, I just want to show you. Here's the marinated pork chops, and I just put them on the non-stick foil pan, and I have them laying out there. I have the oven preheated to 400. What I'm going to do now, this outdated recipe from, you know, early 2000 or such. So the way that he did it, he's saying to boil the cauliflower, but no, we don't want to do that. So the way that I do it, I like to roast it first, but not cook it completely, because it gives it a, you know, nutty, earthy flavor that mimics roasted potato. So I don't cook it completely, because then what we're going to do is we're going to steam it. We are not going to boil this in water. So, all right, I'm going to grab some olive oil. Now I just sprayed with the pan with my avocado non-stick spray, and then I quartered the cauliflower. And we're going to just drizzle some olive oil over that. Okay, and now look at this cutie patootie. Isn't it cute? It's the debut of this apron. I love it. Well, I love them all. You know. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the cauliflower on the top rack in my oven at 400. I'm going to go ahead and put the pork chops in the bottom rack because I'm going to lower that heat, but it can go in now as well. Alexa, set the timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. I got my Alexa for my sister and brother-in-law for my birthday. I'm so excited. I love her. I just love her. Okay, so I have this. Here is my steam pot. I have the little steamer trivet in there, and you don't want the water to come through the holes. Let me fix it. So it's basically, I have a cup in the bottom of this pan. All right, it's not laying right. It lost a leg. It lost a third leg here. So my little workaround, I need to get a new one. I've got the, little turnkey for my drill. I put on the other side, so it's just, there we go. It works. All right, so I'm just going to put the steamer right over here for a second. Now, the cheese sauce, the keto cheese sauce, I got this old thing that works great. I mean, this is great, for making your dark chocolate and stuff for desserts. But I'm gonna put some water in it. It's really been well used and loved. So I'm just gonna throw some water in the bottom of that pan. That's good. So this cheese sauce for the asparagus, what we're gonna do when we steam the cauliflower, when we take that out, then we're going to quickly move in the asparagus, and because that's only going to take 3-4 minutes. It's a small bag, like a serving for 2. Now, of course, I'm bringing a plate of this over to my neighbor because she broke her ankle, and so she used to bring over dishes all the time, but she's hobbling around right now on a scooter. So the cheese sauce is, I get a half a pint of this. I get this at Meijer's. Like I told you, I picked this up at Meijer's. So a half a pint is 1 cup. So it's equal parts of cheese and heavy whipping cream. That is keto cheese sauce. You can use it on anything. So I'm just going to put that in there. And then I have the 1 cup, any kind of cheese that you like. This is the Mexican shredded blend. Now I'm just going to cook this low because it's going to be a while. All right, I'm going to put it on small burner. I'm just going to put it on 3. We'll crank it up if we need to later. So, all right. Well, that's it for right now. I'll be back when we get to our next step. Hey, we are back. I have the cauliflower that's slightly roasted. So the very small amount of browning on top here. It's very hot. Now, the cheese sauce, now I think it was very, very milky. And I think it's because of that fine Mexican shredded cheese that I was using. I usually use a richer, sharp cheddar. So I threw a whole nother cup in there. So that was 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 2 cups of the shredded cheese. And that's melting down. So I moved it to the back burner and turned it on low. And now I turned on the water that we're going to steam the veggies in. So I'm just going to throw them in here. Woo! All right, hold on. Oh, that got a little wet, so my pan is sliding. I'm just going to put them in here. You know, okay, so this kitchen light is off. My ex-husband, John, he did come fix my fixtures. I didn't need the electrician because it was the fixtures. But he has to put, really, he did 2 fixtures. So this one over here above my sink, that used to be a pedestal, and now it's up there on the ceiling. So that's the only light I'm using besides the dining room light behind me. This is really bright. I'll show you. That's pretty bright. It's actually, it doesn't look too bad. I could probably leave it on. But he's going to put a dimmer switch on there so that I can adjust the lighting better. So actually, that's not too bad. But yeah, saved me some money that since it was the fixtures, besides the price of the fixtures. But okay, so I'm going to attach to the end of the video him installing, not the whole thing, but you know, I have a shot of him installing my fixtures for me. Alright, let's get these in here. Ugh, I'm using the wrong tool. Alright. So, next, we're going to steam these for 10 minutes. I think that'll probably do it. We'll see how soft they are. Yeah, they're really not that soft. They're just roasted. So get it all in there. I'm gonna put on the lid, and let's see. Right now I have it on 5. I'm gonna turn it up to 7. You really don't want to boil the cauliflower because you know it just sucks all the nutrients out of them. So I never ever boil vegetables anymore. I always roast them. All right, so we're gonna do that, and we'll be right back. We're back. Now, I'm gonna turn off the cauliflower. Now it's taken probably about 20 minutes because you really want it fork tender. So yeah. All right. First, what I did about after 10 minutes, I went and broke up the cauliflower a bit, and but yeah, it's. Let's see if I can grab a piece. Yeah, it's pretty fork tender now. All right. So now what we're gonna do? Now, of course, George Stella, you know, he boiled his cauliflower, so he says to, you know, drain well and then put on paper towel, but you know, and you know, one layer down. I mean, if you do it this way, and then another paper towel on top, but don't let it cool off. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the food processor. So I grabbed a better tool, this slotted spoon. All right, so I'm gonna. My cheese is looking really good, the cheese sauce. So I'm going to transfer this into the food processor. Now, you could also put this into a blender if you don't have a food processor. This is a cheapo that I got from Aldi's, the Crofton food processor, but it served me well. I'm having issues because of my steamer pan that it's flopping all over on me. But okay, it's no here and there. Okay, just get this all in there. It smells like roasted roasted potatoes already, and yeah, the best way to go really is to roast that cauliflower. Alright, we're almost there. I almost got it all in there. And then there's very few ingredients that we're going to add to this to make it like mashed potatoes. All right, maybe one more. I could get maybe one more spoonful here. All right, so that's about it. Fits in there great. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. Okay, now the pork chops took like no time at all, so I took them out probably 5 minutes after I started steaming, and I just covered it up over here with foil. So I did stir the cheese sauce. We're gonna put in now, George Stella says, a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. You know, I've got my usual Parmesan Reggiano, but that's never been enough. That's just too short on cheese. So I have a 1/2 cup here. I'm gonna put in here. All right, next, I have very little ingredients. Okay, so I have, he says 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Now the thing is, he says 1 medium cauliflower. Now my cauliflower was $1.49 a pound, and it was $5. So, you know, that was a little bit over a 3-pound cauliflower. They had really big ones or really small ones, so, you know, I did my best to find the smallest large one that I could find. So we have, you want the fine pepper here, fine ground pepper. Throw that in there. He says, now here's the thing, I'm using the organic chicken broth, stock broth. He used, it says 1/8 teaspoon straight chicken base or bouillon. So yeah, I don't have that. So I'm gonna, now I might adjust this as we go, because I'm gonna start with a tablespoon of the chicken broth. I might use more though, depending on the consistency. Okay, so there's a tablespoon of that. And then as far as the garlic, so he says a 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic. Well, this is the minced garlic. Now, I was going to use the garlic juice, but this is like almost gone, and there's garlic juice at the bottom of here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use, since mine's bigger, I'm going to use, all right, let's start with a 1/2. Now this is like a little minced and a little juice, so we'll just throw that in there. It is garlic mashed potatoes after all. All right, now I'm going to add this. He didn't have any onion thing in there, but I am going to put just a little bit of this onion juice in here. I don't want to do it over there because I don't want to put too much. Okay, so I have a 1/4 teaspoon of the onion juice. All right, and then that's it. That's all he wants to put in there. So, all right, we're gonna mix her on up. Put this on. Because you want to make sure one thing, you know, you want to make sure you put it in while it's hot, because you don't want this cooling off too much. All right, we're going to just pulse. All right, let's check the consistency. Okay. It's getting there. You don't want to make it mush, you know, you want it to be like a mashed potato. So, I'll show you what we've got so far here. Yeah, all right. So, not too much more. Let's see. It's like mashed potato. All right. Just gonna pulse it just a little bit more. think that's good enough. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now, for the mashed potato, for my friend slash coworker, I'm going to grab, well, I don't know if I have a lid for that. Here, I'm going to give her, I want to give her a good serving, so I'm going to bring her this. Because I'm serving her first here. Alright. Alright, so give her a good sample of this mashed potatoes. It smells good. Alright, now I'm going to take a taste of this. Looks like mashed potatoes. It's so good. It does not taste like cauliflower. I mean, it kind of does. If you didn't know it, you wouldn't know it. Alright, now I'm going to throw a little dollop in here of butter for her. Just gonna use a clean spoon and just throw a little dollop of butter in the middle. And then what you do, you grab the chives and just cut some chives on top. Alright. This is really lovely. It tastes delicious. So Lori, this is for you. I'll bring it to work on Monday. You'll make that recipe, I know you will. Okay. Now, let me plate the whole meal for my neighbor. And I'll come right back and show it to you. There you have it. There's her plate. I'm bringing over to her asparagus with cheese sauce. Those yummy, yummy garlic mashed potatoes. And the beautiful pork chop. I've tasted them all. They're delicious. So I'm going to wrap this up and go deliver it to my neighbor. All right. You can stay tuned and watch John fix my fixture. We'll see you next time, my peeps. Thanks for stopping by for another video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you really liked this video. If you really liked it, share it. We'll see you next time, my peeps. Got the cream cheese. But you know what? It really doesn't need it. It only calls for 1 tablespoon, but mine was in the freezer, so I, defrosted it. But it just calls for 1 tablespoon. But I don't even think it's necessary. I'm sure it's good. This is great. So my neighbor she loved her plate, and she's gonna have it for dinner. So, all right, darn, I wish I didn't forget the cream cheese. So if you want to add it, you can, it just makes it a little more creamy, but I don't know, I like this mashed potato consistency. It's good with or without. So hey y'all, have a good night. Got John, my savior, my ex-husband of love.
Yeah, good thing he's off work.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So, well, he's fixing my lighting issues, and as it turns out, there's the fixture that gave me such problems. Well, it turned out to be the fixture, so now I don't have to pay for the electrician. So, that's good news for me. But John's having a little trouble with the smaller one up here.
We'll get it.
Okay. All right, John. All right, when you solve the problem, we'll come back and take a look at it.
Okay.